So Nintendo, I think we commented about the possibility of them doing Netflix series about a year ago.
Yeah, I think
Remember
that was all like rumor. I think conjecture it ended up being,
and maybe innuendo at the same time.
but maybe.
Which was also one of Queen's last albums. Check it out. So it sounds like they want to get into really doing movies. And they want to do it themselves more than just licensing them. So they're going to go the Marvel Studios direction, which is important. So there's an interview that was translated, and it was with President Kimishima. And he confirmed the following. Oh, drum roll. Shigeru Miyamoto is involved with Nintendo's new film efforts.
That's huge. I mean, that's absolutely
yes,
integral.
Being the creative director, the guy involved with these franchises for 40 fucking years, that's important. It wasn't noted which Nintendo franchises would be spun into movies.
But they said it will be something that everyone enjoys.
I'm pretty sure what the number one on everyone's list is going to be.
Yeah. What, a Mario Brothers? No, I would almost say Zelda.
I would say Legend of Zelda would be optimal.
It's got the most room for an actual movie.
Yes, it's Lord of the Rings, for God's sake. You can do it. Now they're doing fucking Warcraft movies. They can do Legend of Zelda. And the primary goal of making Nintendo movies is to expand the profile of the company's franchises. It's to make money, but okay, that does the same thing. I mean, I'm sure if you put out a Legend of Zelda movie, you're going to have people from 10 years old to 50 that are going to want to see it. And everyone's going to see it, and people are going to be like, oh, it looks like Lord of the Rings. And maybe they'll discover everyone knows what Legend of Zelda is. Even people that aren't into video games know what Legend of Zelda is. It's been around forever.
What also made me happy about this article was the statement that it is unlikely to be live action and it is most likely to be animated. I'm sure that means CG animated, but that to me is a very, very smart move on their part.
I think that would depend on the franchise. I think a Legend of Zelda movie you could do live action if you could do it well.
No, I don't.
I think you could. I think the potential to do it would be probably just as big, if not better, than animated. Or maybe a movie like Metroid, live action could work out.
I think Metroid could work out live action, sure. I could see that.
A movie like Super Mario Brothers, no, that's got to stay.
That's animated.
CG. Yeah, we've already tried that.
We're never going to see that again.
I think you have to do it, franchise to franchise. A Star Fox movie would probably obviously only be CG animated, like Pixar related.
Unless it's looking like, Chuck E. Cheese's, musical pizza review.
Razzmatazz and Perth Amboy, New Jersey. So then they said it's going to happen within 5 years, which is not too optimistic. I think that's realistic.
Yeah.
To put together, like Marvel, Marvel Comics, when they put together their studio, it took them a few years to get a movie out. So you can do it within 5. If you have to have someone leading the way though, and if Miyamoto is going to be one of the head guys like Kevin Feige or Feige at Marvel, you need a creative director to sort of wrangle everything together and make sure you don't go off the track.
Right.
And you have someone really in charge of casting good directors and getting good writers, and if you have to get stars if it's live action, making sure you're not just doing something just to do it. It has to make sense.
Sure.
That said, it could obviously go wrong, but I think Nintendo would be. They're not gonna. This isn't gonna be like the Super Mario Brothers movie, because I think Nintendo's in a much more precarious position nowadays, especially with social media, with the Nintendo. Let's just say their hardware. Right, at least right now, we can't say in 5 years. Right now, their hardware is sort of at a low point, you can say, historically. I think they're going to invest the time and effort to do it right. I think they have to because it affects their other properties, it affects their games, it affects even their amiibo and whatever toys they're going to put out.
Right.
They can't just spit it out. They have to take their time and do it right. And I think they will.
A projection of 5 years, like we said already a bunch of times, Miyamoto. The fact that they're going to carefully pick what they're doing, a careful focus on perhaps animation over live action. I think they're sticking to things within their wheelhouse.
So I'm going to say Legend of Zelda. I'll say Metroid. I'll say a CG Star Fox. Maybe a CG Super Mario Bros. You got to do a Super Mario Bros. Movie at some point. You have
Right.
to. It's the most recognizable character in the world. You have to do it at some point.
And they've started giving the characters depth in recent years through the RPG series, the Paper Mario series, you know,
okay.
that sort of stuff. You know, they actually have some characterization to them besides, you know, it's a me Mario and, you know,
Charles
that sort of thing.
Charles Martinet got to eat, right?
Yeah.
You got to get him on there. Even though I bet you they wouldn't keep him for the movie. They'd probably hire someone else, like someone people actually knew.
Yeah.
Do a more Italian voice versus just it's a me. I'm a stereotype. You know, I'm gonna piss off the Italian Americans. You know.
Never.